Hello, it's the first day of May 2025. Happy Labor Day to you and congratulations for the efforts you make daily to build our nation. The country celebrated the day at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi, an event that was attended by the head of state, COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli, different workers' unions among other dignitaries, and therefore we shall give you a clips of the event in this bulletin. Welcome to Catholic Focus edition today. My name is Deborah Mwanya and our sign language interpreter is Frida Gekunda. Welcome. Every year, the first day of May, people across the world observe International Labor Day, also known as International Workers' Day, to honor the contributions of workers and commemorate their long-standing struggles for fair treatment, better wages, and safer working conditions. Today here in Kenya, the commemoration was held at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi in an event that was attended by President William Ruto, the Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Protection, Dr. Alfred Mutua, the Central Organization of Trade Unions, COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli, different workers' unions, among other dignitaries. Geoffrey Omare attended the event and he gives us a glimpse of this event.
This year's theme is promoting social dialogue for decent work and national development, which has featured prominently in the speeches delivered by the key leaders. Court Secretary General Dr. Francis Atwoli called on the public and private sector employers to uphold dignity in the workplace and ensure that workers are not left behind in economic transformation.
Your Excellency, one of the biggest problems that your government faces in meeting its revenue collection target is outsourcing of labor that has become very common among the Kenyan employers. As Kenyan workers, we appeal to your government to institute action that will ensure that workers are covered by collective bargaining agreements.
On his part, Labour Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Mutua has outlined a government plan to strengthen a social dialogue between government, employers, and trade unions, implement fair wages and decent working conditions for all, regardless of sector, promote safe workplaces through robust inspections and awareness-raising programs, and expand access to social protection for vulnerable and informal workers.
Recognition of the human dignity is a right and must be safeguarded at all times. Workers must be paid rightful legal wages, including overtime, and treated fairly without discrimination, and they should also enjoy decent work conditions.
He also mentioned the implementation of youth employment through public-private partnerships, skills training, and supporting innovation in new and emerging sectors such as the digital economy and green energy.
Na wakisia kwamba serikali hii ya William Ruto iko na mpango, na wakati huu bado tunaendelea kupalilia, na wakati huu bado tunaendelea kukuza na kufukuza nyani na tumbili, wengine tumeshafukuza wameenda nyumbani, ambao kazi yao ni kuharibu ule mmea. Na nchi hii najua kwamba kuja 2027 wa Kenya watakuwa wanauliza William Ruto ulifanya nini, na sisi tutakuwa tunaonesha serikali yako imefanya hiki na hiki na hiki. Kwa hivyo nawahimiza wa Kenya tusubiri na tuone, watch this space, kwa sababu mbele iko sawa.
President William Ruto, while addressing the event, stressed his administration's commitment to creating more jobs, strengthening the manufacturing sector, and improving the working environment across the country.
I recall with very deep personal satisfaction seeing Mama Redempta Makoha of Mumias receive a bonus check of 80,000 in January this year. Money she has proudly used to advance her well-being. That is what real impact and transformation looks like.
Reporting for Capuchin TV, the Catholic Focus, my name is Geoffrey Omare.
When God created man in his own image and likeness, he wanted him to be the steward of the earth and consequently tasked man to look upon all other creatures and to work hard to earn a living. This is according to Reverend Father Jefferson Batia of the Archdiocese of Mombasa, as he wished all workers a happy Labor Day.
This opportunity to wish our viewers a very happy and blessed Labor Day, and to remind the viewers and especially the Christians that Labor Day is a day that we really need to celebrate, because even when God created man in the book of Genesis chapter 1 from verse 26 to 28, he said, let us create man in our image and likeness. And one image we can see of God is a creative God. He labored to create the world and to bring it to completeness and perfection. And so we too need to imitate God himself in his creative power. And that can only be done if we work and we love to labor and toil. But above all, we say that we are called to be stewards. Labor is about becoming also stewards of nature. That is why in Genesis 1:28, he tells man, fill the earth and subdue it, that be able to be a custodian of the earth. And that can only be done through labor. And so let us embrace labor and know that it is the only way that we can transform ourselves, we can transform the society, through hard work and dedication and devotion to what we do, be it business, be it talent, be it any engagement that we find ourselves in to find our daily bread. Let us know that God will always bless the labor of our hands, because he labored also to create the earth as it is today.
Father Batia congratulated Kenyans for their commitment to service and labor, noting that any form of work our hands find to do, we give it our best, stating the perfect example of Saint Joseph the Worker, who is the patron saint of workers, whereby he also encouraged men to emulate him in their toiling for their families.
So I want to believe that watu wanasema wera ni wera, watu wapige wera, watu wafanye bidii kwa kazi, tukaweze kuwa wazalishaji, tukaweze kuwa watu ambao tutajua kwamba sisi ndio tutabadilisha maisha yetu kwa juhudi na kazi na bidii. And I know as Kenyans, first of all, I like to congratulate Kenyans for the hard work that they do. Kenyans are people wenye wanajituma sana, and we pray that they may not be discouraged even with the hard economic times, even with bad leaderships and bad policies, that sometimes they may not see their labor bearing fruit, but waendelee kujituma, wajue kwamba at the end of the day, God is the provider. God is sustained the Israelites in the deserts, that he will sustain us in as much as we continue laboring. So to all Kenyans, a happy and blessed Labor Day, na Mungu awabariki na tuendelee kufurahia kazi za mikono yetu. In the perfect example of Saint Joseph, first May we also celebrate Saint Joseph, who is the patron also of workers. He labored as a carpenter, and we see through the skills of carpentry, he was able to bring up his holy family of Jesus and Mary. So God bless you, and to also Joseph Men CMA, may you be that example of hard work in the family.
Happy Labor Day to you too, from wherever you are watching this bulletin. Due to a surge in cancer cases and its severe implications to the society, which fosters a big challenge to health and relatively slow economic growth due to low productivity, the Africa Health and Economic Transformation Initiative, Haiti, under the leadership of Reverend Father Charles Chilufya SJ, have organized a 2-day workshop in Nairobi with the aim of consolidating efforts to ensure they deliver better health services to the people and curb the cancer challenge in the country. The conference brings together religious leaders from different religions as well as health sector stakeholders with a common agenda of healthy generation. Our reporter Peter Mwangi attended this workshop and has more details.
During the two-day conference officially opened in Nairobi by Archbishop Philip Anyolo, religious leaders and health stakeholders were encouraged to provide service with hearts of love, humanity, and to everyone in need.
This brings out in a special way the meaning of the dignity and love, because without working and helping the sick people with love, we are just treating the numbers. Because many other hospitals you discover, every sick person is numbered. Go to number flani. But Jesus wanted to know, who is this who touched my hair? That individual person, not just numbers. We want to encourage from the pastoral point of view and from the church shepherding point of view, all of us here who are people guiding others to God, want to encourage that aspect of love in serving the sick, and in a special way in attending to the mothers who may be discovered having hemorrhages, and the treatment should be of great dignity.
On his part, Father Charles Chilufya, Director General of Haiti, said that the program aims to bring light and hope to cancer victims, stressing that the disease is preventable and treatable if urgent action is taken.
Communion with other faiths, we have so much that we can deploy and put out there to ensure that all girls are vaccinated, that women who need treatment are treated, and those that need protection get the protection.
Penda Kidhaka, the founder of Kilele Health Group, which basically helps women deal with cervical cancer, stressed that there is now tangible solution to the ailment and urged women to come out for early screening.
Therefore, commemorating World Health Immunizations Week and Africa Vaccination Week this week is a call to action to look at where girls are not being reached, boys are not being reached, men and women are not being reached by vaccines that are life-saving. And why I chose to speak about that today is because you've listened to His Grace speak about HPV vaccination. And HPV vaccination is cervical cancer prevention. And yet our girls are passing the age of 14, going to 15, when they're no longer eligible for that vaccine, which is free for girls between ages 10 and 14 in this country.
Islamic leader Sheikh Amani Amisi said the suffering that women and female children go through due to cancer, no one can turn a blind eye on such, and the entire society should come together to protect them from these damages.
Sisi ndani ya Uislamu tunajua kwamba katika haki na sera zake ilikuja kwa sababu ya kumuokoa mtoto wa kike na mwanamke katika yale madhila ambayo yalikuwa kule nyumani na katika kila hali mbalimbali. Tukaambiwa tuweze kuishi nao palipo na shida na penye furaha.
Judy Wanyoike, a cervical cancer survivor, has called on mothers and young girls and women to come out in large numbers for early testing, stressing that testing is a very important step in preventing the serious effect of the disease.
So, mimi nahimiza wamama wafanyiwe screening na wenye wako na watoto miaka 10 hadi 14 wafanyiwe wadungwe ile sindano ya HPV, wasijipate kama pahali nimejipata.
The awareness is being championed by religious leaders across the country. According to Sister Esther Mwangi, Director of St. Francis Hospital Kasarani, a special day has been set aside for cancer testing and education to the public, whereby she has urged the society to show up for cancer screening, which is very crucial.
They've organized a very big mega free medical camp that will be taking place on 16th and 17th of May this year at St. Francis Community Hospital, purposely to promote or to be in action. Screening of cervical cancer will be done in a very big way.
Cervical cancer is a cancer of the cervix, the lower part of the uterus, and is almost always caused by persistent infection with high-risk types of human papillomavirus, HPV. It is the fourth most common cancer in women worldwide, and early detection and treatment are crucial for successful outcomes. Peter Mwangi, Catholic Focus, Nairobi.
And now to matters in education. Public secondary schools are facing it rough due to delayed school capitation by the national government through the Ministry of Education. According to the chairman of Kenya Secondary School Heads Association, Willie Kuria, in a media briefing noted that the Ministry of Education through the Treasury released 8,319 shillings per student in the first phase of the first term instead of disbursing 11,122 shillings per student. In order that they have not yet received the remaining funds for the first time, an issue that he says is delaying and hampering other activities in the public schools, as the second term has more activities and it's more busy than term one.
As at this year, last term, we were supposed to receive 50% of 22,244, which is 11,122. But then we did not receive that money in totality because we received 8,319, leaving a deficit of 2,803 per learner. And we have been asking the Minister for Education to ensure that the 2,800 would be in school by the time we open, so that we can be able to settle the ideas we had, we can be able to pay the creditors, we can be able to pay salaries for our term, so that as we commence this term, maybe we can be a bit free of debts and we can be able to manage the capitation for this term with the issues of this term. This is a very busy term because we have the co-curricular activities. It's a very long term. And so there is need for, and the time we prepare candidates for exams next year. So most of us usually have so many exams to do, trial papers. There's a lot of work to be done, both in class and outside the class, because of also co-curricular activities. They are very many this time. So this is a time that we urgently require fees, because this is also a time when schools have, the students are usually very chaotic in second term. And therefore they look for any slightest excuse to create disturbances. So if there is no money and maybe there is no going out for curricular activities, the students are bound to react. And that is why we would like the ministry to avert any dangers, any disturbances, by ensuring that the funds needed in schools are available. I also want to say that this capitation of 22,244 was set by Kirememoria Task Force in 2015. At that time, the Kirememoria Task Force put it for the government to give 12,870. And this, then the parents would also contribute by giving 9,374. So there was cost sharing between government and the parent. And this is what brought the total fee for a student at 2,244. And things were very smooth because the parents were able to pay their bit and the government could give their bit. But then in 2017, the government then declared there will be free secondary, free day secondary. And
the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, KPLC, has attributed the country's persistent power outages and rationing to a massive backlog of stalled and malfunctioning transformers, some of which have been lying idle for over a decade. According to Ruiru Member of Parliament Simon Kingara, more than 10,000 faulty transformers have been abandoned at a site for over 10 years, undermining the country's power supply, thus making electricity unreliable. Alan Nadiva has more details on this report.
According to Ruiru MP Simon Kingara, Thousands of faulty transformers, over 10,000 in total, have been abandoned at Kenya Power storage site for more than 10 years. The MP, who was speaking during an inspection tour alongside a member of the National Assembly Energy Committee, said the neglected transformers are a major contributor to Kenya's erratic electricity supply. King'ara revealed that Kenya's Power and Lightning Company is now taking steps to dispose of the unusable transformers by selling them to scrap metal dealers. The aim is to recycle the components for use in manufacturing other electrical materials.
Kumekuwa na changamoto ya transformers hapa nchini. Kuna watu wengi wanalia hakuna transformer imeharibika, transformer imekawia, transformer imeenda kutengenezwa haikuji, na tukaona kama kamati kutuje tujue ni nini hasa inaendelea kuhusu transformer. Lazima tutafute njia mwafaka ya kuona umeme umekuwa kwa watu au kwa wananchi kwa mfululizo. Hizi zote zimechapaka hapa ni zile transformers zimeharibika. Tunataka kujua kama zimekuwa zikidumu kulingana na muda wake, mpango wa muda wake. Kwa sababu inaweza kuwa transformer imenunuliwa leo, kesho ikaharibika. Na kwa sababu tumeitisha orodha na utaratibu ule umetumika kuzileta hapa, hatuweza kusema kama ni zimetumika vibaya au zimetumika vizuri, kwa sababu itabidi tuangalie kwa rekodi yao. Zile transformers ziko hapa ni zaidi ya 10,000, na vile vile wakasema zile transformers ziko kwa wananchi zile zinatumika ni transformer 90,000 zile ziko nje. Kwa hivyo wakasema hiki ni kitengo kidogo kile kiko hapa, na wamesema vile vile hizi ziko hapa kwa zaidi ya miaka 15. Tumejaribu kuulizia ni gani zimewekwa kando zikielekea kutengenezwa. Hilo ni jambo wamesema litachukua muda, kwa sababu transformers ziko aina tofauti, itabidi wakusanye rekodi ile wakanao ndio wakaweza kutukabidhi rekodi mwafaka.
KPLC outdated infrastructure has long been a point of frustration for consumers and business alike. With frequent blackouts and ongoing power rationing across the country, the company has come under growing criticism for its failure to modernize and meet increasing demands. In response, lawmakers have pledged their support to help the utility across the transformer backlog and overhaul its distribution network. They say they will collaborate with KPLC and relevant government ministries to streamline procurement, fast-track the replacement of aging equipment, and prevent similar backlogs in future. This comes at a time when the government is working on strategies to reduce electricity costs for consumers and encourage investment in renewable energy.
Wamekuja na mfumo mpya wa kusema kabla hawajauza transformer wanatafuta mtu wa kununua, na wao wenyewe wanaikatakata, wanatoa ile material ya transformer na wanapatia mwanabiashara ile material. Na katika ule mwelekeo mpya ambao tunagoja kuona kama utafua dafu, wakasema zile vitu zitatengenezwa na yule mtu atauziwa material ya transformer ni za kutengeneza vitu za stima, na wamesema wameweka watu kwa hayo maofisi kuona yale materials yote wamepeana inatumika kulingana na utaratibu ule. Kwa vile ni janga jipya wameanza, siwezi kachangia sana kujua kama litaweza kufua dafu. Mswada ambao utaletwa bungeni hivi karibuni wa kuona utumizi wa stima na malipo ya stima huenda ikaenda chini. Kwa hivyo hilo ni jambo tuko nalo pale bungeni, linangoja tu kuletwa kwa bunge wote, hiyo lijadiliwe na mwelekeo upatikane. Kuna mikakati mipya wamechukua na wamesema wameandikia Treasury waongezwe pesa ndio waweze kununua transformers kubwa na za kudumu za maeneo ambao yako na janga. Lakini kwa sababu stakabadhi hizo hatujapewa, siwezi kabisa kapeana mwelekeo.
Reporting for the Catholic Focus, I'm Alan Andiva.
And that power story brings us to the end of Catholic Focus edition today. Special thanks to the team that made it possible and to you, our viewers, for choosing Capuchin Television Network. My name is Deborah Mwania and our sign language interpreter has been Frida Gekunda. Be blessed.